What happened to the black sheep of your family? For a long time, I would have proudly said we didn't have one. My husband Frank and I raised two good kids. Our daughter Sarah was always so responsible, and our son, Daniel, well, Daniel was always a sweetheart, maybe a little too sensitive, a bit unsure of his path after high school, but never what you'd call a bad kid. Then, slowly, almost without us realizing how deep it was getting, Daniel started to change, and our lives turned into a nightmare we couldn't wake up from. It began when he was around 20. He'd always been a bit of a homebody, loved his video games, but then he started going out a lot more, staying out late, really secretive about where he was or who he was with. He started hanging around a new crowd, kids who seemed a bit rougher than his old friend. He'd always need money, first small amounts, then larger. His part-time jobs never seemed to last more than a few months. Creative differences, he'd say, or the boss was a jerk. Then little things started going missing from the house. Some cash I kept in a kitchen jar. A few of Frank's old collectibles he'd mentioned were worth a bit. We'd look for them, confused, and Daniel would help us search, looking just as puzzled as we were. We didn't want to believe our son would steal from us. You just don't. But the unease started to grow, that sick feeling in the pit of your stomach. He became an expert at lying, at making excuses. He lost weight, had dark circles under his eyes, was always jumpy or irritable. We begged him to tell us what was wrong. Was it drug? Was he in some kind of trouble? He'd always deny it, sometimes with tears, sometimes with anger, telling us we were suffocating him, that he was fine. Frank and I would argue. Frank wanted to kick him out, practice tough love. I was terrified of what would happen to him if we did. We tried family counseling, but Daniel would only go once or twice, then refuse. The real crisis, the moment we understood we were dealing with something far bigger than just a kid being irresponsible, came when our bank called. There were suspicious withdrawals from our savings account, large sums, and then a letter about a loan application in Frank's name that we knew nothing about. It turned out Daniel had learned how to access our online banking, had been siphoning money for months, and had even tried to take out a loan using his father's identity. He'd stolen thousands, our emergency fund, money we'd saved for years. The police got involved because of the loan fraud. That was the rock bottom. Seeing our son, our sweet Daniel, in a police station, finally admitting through broken sobs that he had a terrible gambling addiction. It had started online, with small sports bets with his new friends, then escalated to online poker, then to him owing a lot of money to some very scary people. He'd stolen from us out of sheer desperation, terrified of what would happen if he couldn't pay his debt. He said he felt like he was drowning and couldn't see any other way out. The heartbreak was immense, the betrayal, the lies, the fear, but underneath it all, he was still our son. We had to make some incredibly hard choices. We didn't press charges for the money he took from us directly, but he had to face the consequences for the loan fraud attempt. And we told him, with the hardest words I've ever had to say, that we would help him get into a residential rehab program for his gambling addiction, but if he refused or if he left, we couldn't let him come home. We couldn't enable his self-destruction anymore. He went. It was the longest 60 days of our lives. There were good reports, bad reports, moments we thought he'd give up, but he stuck it out. He's been home for 6 months now, going to daily support meetings, working a simple job at a local bookstore, and trying, really trying, to rebuild his life and our trust. It's a slow, fragile process. Some days are good, some are incredibly hard. He has to pay us back a little each month for years to come. Our family isn't the same. Those scars will always be there. So what happened to the black sheep of our family? He got lost in a terrible addiction. He hurt us deeply and he broke our hearts. But he's fighting his way back, one day at a time, and we're learning, slowly, how to forgive and how to hope again, even when it's hard. Because sometimes the black sheep is just a lost sheep who desperately needs to find their way home.